Happy New Year, Scorpio. Let's have a look at your Astrology and Tarot for 2023. So, starting with Jupiter. Scorpio's Jupiter in the 6th sector at the moment, and it will be moving into the 7th sector around the 17th of May. So it's been in the 6th sector, moved in there around the middle of December, and this is a very fortunate situation around your work. It means it's time when you can expand on work. You can be looking at growing your situation if it's business, or you may even find that it's a time when with work you get an increase in finances. So it's Jupiter always makes things quite easy, and so it means that your work sector and your daily life is going to be relatively smooth. Now, when Jupiter moves into your 7th sector on the 17th of May, that's going to be very fortunate for relationships. And we're talking, this is a marriage sector, so we're talking about love relationships. With Jupiter there, means that you can expand with partner into new things. You can maybe going through new growth together, or you may come into a new connection and find a very fortunate relationship. We have around on the 17th of May, when it happens, we've got these combinations going on where Jupiter conjuncts the node, and that is all about really fortunate relationships for moving forward and for helping us out. And with that being in your 7th sector, it means like a really good marriage partner or marriage situation or commitment relationship. So any Scorpios that are looking for partnership, around May this year would be a perfect time. It could even come in sooner than that, but this is around the May energy is when things will be very evidently productive and positive and absolutely right for you for moving forward. So Saturn is sitting in your 4th sector, and with Saturn in the 4th sector, that's all about the placement of the home. It's also about the placement of where we've come from. It relates to our roots, our history, our lineage. And with Saturn there, you might be feeling quite inclined to wanting to do some research relative to, where you've come from, your history line, so to speak. Also, it can be a time when you may have felt a bit sort of unsettled in the home situation, or you may have moved a couple of times. Saturn's been sitting in the 4th position for about 14 months now, so you may have found you've moved more than once during that time, or you've been just not feeling settled or been wanting to move. So Saturn, it's like I'm feeling a bit isolated here, or it could be the opposite. Depends on how how you approach Saturn, how you enjoy Saturn. You might go, I love this because this is my own space and I get left alone. So, Scorpios do like that. They do like to have their own space. But with Saturn in the 4th, it's like it makes it a little bit hard with people you're living with as well. So with Saturn moves into the 5th house on the 8th of March, so that takes it out of the 4th. So then I think once Saturn moves out of there, you might find that you're going to feel more settled in the home environment. You're going to feel more like it's not such hard work, or maybe your house or your home has needed lots of hard work. As it moves into the 5th, you may feel like not socialising as much as you have been, mainly because the 5th sector is the house of entertainment, but that would be more socialising, bringing as in entertaining in from your own environment. It can also bring up hindrances or issues with children with it because it's the 5th house Saturn, or it may just mean that there's some problems here for children that you're needing to help them out with at that time. Uranus is sitting in your 7th sector as well, and so you've got Jupiter in May going into the 7th, and then you've got Uranus has been sitting there in the 7th for quite a while now. So that's made it quite restless around relationship situations. So relationships, you may have found it's been hard to consolidate anything really strong during this time. We're talking about really over the last 4 or 5 years. Uranus has been sitting in this position. As we're coming to the end of it, you're going to find that a relationship is going to come in really fast and quick, and you're going to be absolutely 100% clear about this is right for you. You're going to know it at a much higher level. As Uranus is your higher mind, it's your intuition, and it's like it brings things through quickly and it brings things through with clarity. So while you're going through it, because it's been like, say, 5 to 6 years where it will sit in the sector, and you're in the sort of the last year and a half of it now, or nearly 2 years, but you are going to get a little bit of a break because Uranus is actually going into Aquarius for, just for a couple of months, and then it retrogrades back again. So you really are right at the end of it. And so what I'm trying to say here is that if you found it's been a struggle with relationship, if you're in a relationship and it's been playing a bit of havoc on your partnership, in the sense of things have been unsettled, maybe partner has not been able to be around you, maybe he's had to do lots of travel, or maybe you're just like not in the right locations, or maybe work has been the priority. It's like once that starts to get to like that last degree, which we're coming up to soon, you're going to find it's going to be so much easier to have better, more stable situations and relationships. So, during that time, like I said, the last 4 or 5 years, for anyone on their own, they've probably had a few relationships come in real quick and then go quite just as quick. Or if that wasn't the nature of it, just have these sort of obstacles that just seem to come out of the blue that don't even need to be there. So, that's going to be, you're sort of at the last part of that, and things are just going to feel a lot more settled as Uranus moves more into the 8th house. You've had Pluto in the 3rd house. Now that's your placement that relates to your communications with others and also to your siblings and friendships. And with Pluto there, that can be a little bit, feel like a little bit of pressure, or when I say pressure, you could be dealing with like a bossy sister, or you could be dealing with, like a demanding friend, or just it's like your Pluto's very much it's this powerhouse, but it's sort of a subtle energy where it can feel like it's squashing you a little bit. It's trying to control you a little bit, but in an underhanded way, not in an obvious physical way, but in a more maybe verbal way, or just in a very subtle way. So with Pluto there, that's just a position that you've had for a while, and again, that's going to change. It's going to move into your 4th sector. Where are we? Pluto, around about in a couple of months' time. Anyway, so let me just check that. Pluto, yeah. So sorry. So Pluto goes out of Capricorn this month, January, yay, and it goes into the 4th. So, that's going to make it a lot easier around friendships and around family members. But then it just sits at 0 degrees and it goes back into that again and stays till the end of the year. So when I was describing Uranus, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. It was Pluto that's doing that. Uranus is still in Taurus, and it's still in there for a bit longer yet. So the node is sitting in your 7th house, and this is again it's sort of confirming a really good time for relationships and connecting up with others. The node is all about your friendships, your associations, and your connections, and it's sitting in your placement of marriage. So that's a perfect place to be meeting someone that you can make a real commitment with. Otherwise, it just it's going to mean that it's sort of an easy time to be interactive within relationships and within marriage situations. It's a time when you could pregnancy, bringing new people into your life, new soul connections is quite a high possibility with that. Now, on the 14th of January, you've got Venus square Uranus, and that is in the 4th and the 7th house. So that's very powerful, because this is really, again, the opportunity to have a lot of fun with the partner, or to meet someone quite spontaneously and quite quickly. Now, because you've got the Uranus in the 7th, again, it could be a bit like, it's like the relationships that you will be making during this time. Freedom is definitely a very, very important part of this connection. Uranus is all about freedom, and it doesn't like to be restricted, and it doesn't like to do anything in the norm. But as long as you're not doing anything in the conventional way, it's going to work out absolutely fine. Venus Uranus is also about connecting with music and the arts. It's about rhythm, and it's also about sudden feelings of love, or sudden the impulse towards sudden love. It can also be about sudden good news around finances as well. So that looks really good for around the 14th this month. Now at the end of March, there's a Pluto square node. Now Pluto, like I said, sitting in that third position, and the node's sitting in the seventh. And this is about fated connections that are going to come into your life to change your life, to change your direction, and to transform your life in a slow but sure way. So that's the theme for the whole year. It's the theme for everyone, but for you, you've got it in the third and the seventh. So again, it's connecting up to partnerships, marriage, and sharing your life with somebody. So, so much here with partnerships that if you're in a partnership and, partnership's great, you could be looking at, it could be a business partnership that's going to be really moving forward. Or if it's not, it's going to be, a lot of product things going on within your relationship, taking things to another level, where there's longevity in relationships. They go through cycles of loving each other, getting annoyed with each other, getting sick of each other, hating each other, wanting to leave each other, and then falling in love again. And it's not quite all like that, but and I'm being a bit facetious here, but what I'm saying here is that we go through these cycles, and I think when we stay together and we grow, we want to work it out, we really do want to be together. We when we come to the end of each time we go through these things, there's a deeper love, there's a deeper connection. So for some Scorpios that have been, in more of long-term relationships, it's a time where you can really come in and feel that deeper connection, because there will be a yearning for a deeper connection, or even a more exciting connection if you're feeling a bit bored with that Venus-Uranus going on there. So the other really good combinations you've got going on here is the Mars square Jupiter. Now this is all of May, and Mars, I'm not, covering any of the other aspects of the inner planets, but because Mars is doing its retrograde direct thing, it is going direct actually this month, but it just hangs around for some reason. May, I know what it is. They're hanging around together, they're moving at the same time, and then they switch signs at the same time. So Mars is in Cancer, Jupiter's in Aries, square, and then what the Jupiter and the Mars, they just travel together, holding that square all month. But during that time, and around between the 7th and the 10th of May, I'm looking at the house sector. Sorry, the second half of May, Mars goes into Leo, and then Jupiter goes into Taurus. So Mars, the first part of the Mars square Jupiter, you've got the 9th and the 6th being activated. Now this means that this is going to be very productive, because it's Mars Jupiter's productivity. It's about taking action. It's about setting up enterprise, business, career. It's like really good productive things happening for your career during those Mars squares. So as it goes, it's doing the 6th and the 9th houses. You've got your work, Jupiter sitting there. I said work's going to be great, very productive, and very financially rewarding. And with Mars there and sitting in your 9th, you may want to learn or add more or do something of a higher nature that you're incorporating into your work. So May is going to be a fantastic month for getting on with bigger plans that you have for your particular business or work career. And then as it transitions, the Mars goes into the Leo, it goes into your 10th and your 7th. And that's even more powerful, because your 10th house is all about your ultimate goals, where you see yourself. It's a placement of Capricorn, and it's represented by the mountain goat standing at the top of the mountain. Now he's had to climb arduously and carefully and very slowly up that mountain. And he gets to the top, and he's standing there, and he's on top of the world. He's got to where he wanted to be, and he thinks he's just going to be quite happy staying there for as long as he wants. So it's that feeling like you've achieved what you've wanted. You've got to where you want to be. It's feeling like you've reached your ultimate. It relates to the career, but more like the larger career of, what am I doing this for? What is it I want to achieve? Where can I take this? So, and then you've got it in the 7th, so with the Jupiter. So it's going to be very productive and positive year for Scorpio. So I'm quite excited to look at the cards and see how this is reiterated really in the cards. So yeah, with when Jupiter's sitting there on your 7th and Mars is there on your 10th, you know, you could it's going to be such a productive time. You could be setting up new business. You could be extending, growing business, adding to what you do. You know, it means you could be maybe buying property. You know, it's like you're going to start to get the things you're wanting, but it's going to be like the things you're working for as well as it's got a lot to do with your work and moving forward with your work and your career. But you're going to have a big leg up to do a partnership through this Jupiter in the 7th by May. So, you know, whatever relationships come in, good fortune's coming from relationships, excuse me. Anyone already in relationships, they're going to be being able to move forward due to their partner. So when Jupiter's there, it's like, you know, it's very fortunate relationship situation that you find that you can achieve so much more with partner than, you know, something that you probably couldn't have even achieved by yourself or have been made possible without this person. So what does the universe want Scorpio to know for 2023? Excuse me. So yes, union is, excuse me, very important. Union, relationship, partnership is coming up as a really strong theme for this year. Now, you've got the devil in the past, so it's good to see it's in the past. The devil relates to fears, uncertainty, you know, just not feeling safe sometimes or feeling vulnerable. So this is this. Actually, you don't need to see it, but it's in this placement of the past, and what that means is that, you know, last year I'd say was probably, you know, you've been processing or dealing with a lot of fears, Scorpio, and you know, the only way to deal with a fear is to address it, but it looks like you're coming out of that now. So any issues you've had around any fears or any concerns or worries or negativity even, it's like, you know, Scorpio is like recognize negativity and removing themselves from it, or recognizing what their fears are and addressing it. So really good, like I said, to see it in the past. What you've got coming up in your near future is the World card, which is just fantastic. This is where everything comes together. This is when opportunities are brought in. And I think when I said Jupiter is in your 6th sector, this is, and I said, you know, it's really good luck in a way for work. This is like really fortunate situation coming in that's being offered or presented to you. And it's like, it's through someone you know. And it's like, this is just perfect for you. And you may, this could be a contractual situation, but it's a fantastic opportunity. The World card, you couldn't get a better card for opportunity. Also, the World card relates to where you've been working hard for a long period of time, you know, where you've been maybe in the same career or doing the same thing for a long period of time, and now the reward's going to pay off. So whatever area surrounding it's relative to that, and it's sort of saying that where things have been difficult in your career or out of balance, they're coming to a bit of balance where you can start to really reap the rewards. This is a time when you can sit back and just use your knowledge and your wisdom and just be like a counsel to situations, because you know so much, because you've, you know, done the full cycle of it, that your knowledge will you'll be really rewarded for all the hard work, like I said. So yeah, there's a lot here being offered to you. May even be a bit of travel here for you as well that you're thinking about, and that could be presented to you as well, because it feels like you've got gifts coming in here, and especially I think once you get the Jupiter moving into the 7th position. So yes, new connections coming in of an important nature. And like I said, if you're already in a relationship where you've got some new friendships or some new connections that are going to help you expand, grow, and be really responsible for changing your life this year. When I say changing your life, it's like you've got a plan with another that's like-minded. You've got this goal, and it's something that you can do now because you have someone to do it with, someone that you can share this with, because it's like you've got to bounce off someone else to make this work. Really good connections, friendships, like I said, fated situations, not only around love, but also around friendship, and also potential for business partnerships. You probably, this can all happen at the same time. Like, as in, say, for an example, you could meet, say you're on your own, you could meet a partner, then your partner has a sister, and the sister seems to be a soul sister to you because he's a soulmate, and the three of you have got this plan to possibly go and travel or set up a business or do something on this piece of land. So, it's like it can be one of those things, it can be all of those things. And quite often when one soul connection comes into our life, we have a whole flood of them come in. They don't come in all that same day, it'd be too overwhelming. But, or we may not recognize them as soul connections straight away. Sorry. But this is what happens over a period of like 18 months. This is when we have the time of developing the bond with, because we've got a new connection here, then we're going to be making connections with the connections that they've already got made because they're meant to bring them into your life. So it's a great year for adaptability with others, because you aren't going to be doing that much on your own, to be honest. You're going to be so busy with relationships and with family as well, family circumstances. There are going to be thoughts about what, with career, what's going to be important is having personal control in your workspace. And, any areas where, if I go back to with the devil card, which if I say it's been negativity around people, you're going to move away from that, because it's like what's going to be really important to Scorpio is having control in their life. And, if somebody's being negative, they feel like that's not the vibration they're wanting to be in, that's not the energy they're wanting to be in. So Scorpio is a very deep psychic sign, and sometimes with Scorpio they've got to go to the depths to understand what's going on in their inner world. Now, I mean, we all have to do that. That is the Scorpio trait. We all have these qualities. We are actually a whole complexity of the zodiac anyway. But with Scorpio, it's like if you're born a Scorpio, because I mean, Scorpio ascendant, it might be a bit different, but Scorpio sun sign, if you're born a Scorpio, you're here for the lesson, because any sun, let me start again. Your sun sign is your lesson. So if you're born a Scorpio, you have the lesson of Scorpio. If you're born a Pisces, you have the lesson of Pisces. And the lesson of Scorpio is about going deep. It's about, not avoidance. You're not hiding in any sort of addictions, because that's why Scorpios tend to be attracted to it, to addictions, because they don't, it's too hard, it's too painful to go to that depth. And you see some people, if you're born a Gemini, you probably don't have to do this. If you're born a Sagittarius, you don't have to do this. But Scorpio does it because that's where you are in your evolutional growth. So, it's like there is a year, with this year, when I'm talking about going to the depths, it's like and I think you do this on a regular basis in the sense of understanding yourself, because Scorpio is all about transformation, from, going to the depths to come out, transformed. And it's like you're going to the depths, but the depths are relative to your soul purpose, your soul direction. If that makes sense. It's like, what am I here for? It's like you know what you're here for now, but at some point you're sort of going to go, there's something else that I'm here for, relative to helping humanity, or relative to, that I'm meant to be doing for work, which is relative to helping humanity, because I've got the two cards here that represent you receiving money for, working where you're helping others in alignment with your values. But it's like you're going to really go into that depth to try to find what it is you are really here to do. So if you haven't found that already, but I think what it is that Scorpio is going to take things to another level this year with their abilities and their gifts. Because there's so much around relationship, I feel like there's a deep-seated feeling of wanting to heal something relative to relationship or to receiving that. Also around money, there's something for Scorpio that seems to be coming up, that seems to be going into the depths of healing an issue around the receiving of money, because it's like that doesn't go, and lining that up with their values. Okay, so let me try to work it out for you guys for a second. So clearing the past situations that could have happened relative to, the receiving of money or the not receiving of money, or so it could be one or two things. We could feel like we've been ripped off. We could feel like, money's been taken from us. It's pretty much sort of about that. Or we could feel like we don't want to accept money, but I feel like it's not that. I feel like it's more like the attitude around the money. Money is really a healthy thing as long as we don't have those emotions caught up with it. So I think I don't know quite how to help you out with this one, Scorpio, but I think I know what you need to do, and that is you need to disassociate your understanding of money and your value system, and sort of tie it together, disassociate it from past experience and tie it together into how you can help people with money. So maybe if there's this area where you're just clearing that so that you can receive more, start talking about what you can do with all the abundance that you have coming, like how many people you can help with the abundance, what you can create that can help people with the abundance, rather than, it doesn't matter, it's only money, it's not going to make you happy. You're sort of not being honest with yourself at some level. So yeah, there's a bit of karmic clearing going on to do with family or to do with past life stuff, around finances actually for Scorpio. I'm going to just lay out some more, just to get another level. So, I mean, Scorpio's got everything at their fingertips. Really fantastic opportunities, great relationship, and really, really moving forward. And like I said, good luck through others. And I did say, so I've done a few today, so I'm going to get confused the last one. Yes, I did say you were going to get helped out through a partner, and maybe that's what I'm talking about as well. It's like, allow yourself to receive. So let's just put another layer on this and see if there's anything else I can see for Scorpio. Allowing yourself to receive and opening up your heart, not being defensive, to love or to, that's what you're going to change. That's what you're going to, because you've got the transformational card here. What is it you're going to transform? You're going to transform your, it's like your self-preservational mode. You're going to transform that as in, where you can be a bit maybe defensive, or I wouldn't say defensive, a bit wary, a bit, like it's not that like you don't want to be close and hug and all that, but it's like you're very, very cautious. I mean, it's the most cautious sign there is. We can't dispute that one. But I think your caution is coming from your past pain, your past, where you've lost trust in maybe human nature or in people or in situations. And that is what you're transforming, and that's what you're going to get to transform through this. The other thing that you have here is a huge amount of money coming. So, it's interesting. I was talking about that, and then the money comes in because it's like things are transforming without you having to do anything. It's just that these things are going to come up and you're going to recognize it. Uranus is going to you're going to go, well, okay, that's what it is. It's going to give you that realization of, okay, well, that was that. Now I can see that's gone. And that allows a much better flow of energy for that, because it's important, because, You have to accept. The thing is that if you go into a space with someone and they're wanting to share and they're wanting to give what they have, and you're not used to that, you're going to feel like you're not good enough if you keep that mentality that you need to have the same amount, or that you know don't deserve it, or whatever it may be. Of course you deserve it. It's not really a deserving thing. It's more like what does that mean? Does it mean that I owe you? And it's like, no, it means that there's someone here who wants to give and just receive, and you can give when you can give. And if you allow this person to give and give to you, you'll be in a position where you can give to so many people and to this other person, because once you do that, you get in the flow of it, and then you have more, and then you can start to do it yourself. But yeah, that's where I'm going with that. Again, confirmation, really strong soul connections that are going to be, like I said, it's going to have this freedom, loving feeling to it, because again, with the Uranus is involved with it. But this is fantastic. Also says that soul connections. You can do lots of travel together. You may have to travel to meet your partner, or you may meet them while you're on holiday. But there will be some travel that you will do with partner. And like I said, anyone who is looking for a new partner is absolutely coming in here with the Ace of Cups. And really good friendships, and really good solid friendships. So I think the main message for Scorpio, you've got so much good fortune, but I think the main message for Scorpio here is being open to receiving. You've got some really wonderful situations where the wheel's opening up, and you can just go, yeah, you've been waiting for this, you've been wanting it. Don't get resistant when it happens, or don't feel like you're scared because it's going too fast. And the other thing is, opening up emotionally, because that's the other area that you're scared of. It's like, if I open up emotionally to this person, am I going to be vulnerable? Am I going to be hurt? So this is a whole process. I could sit here all day giving you advice, but really it's not going to be until you're in the experience of it that you just will do it naturally. Where somebody is giving, someone is expressing their love, and you're going to have to start to do the same, or you're going to have to start to open up a bit more instead of going, this is a bit intense, So it's not that you've got this vision and it's all going to turn to shit. It's not like you've turned into a bad mental space. It's more like where you've been affected by the past. Yeah, Scorpios can be like elephants. They don't forget. And they find it sometimes very hard to forgive. But, this is just about allowing for yourself. And I think the thing is, if there is anything you have to forgive, it may be yourself. If you feel that, there was a situation that, didn't work out, you most likely think that this is your fault, that you blamed yourself for getting yourself in that situation in the first place. So stop being hard on yourself, because we're here to have these experiences. Otherwise, we wouldn't have come to this planet. Okay, Scorpio, so I hope that's been helpful. It's really good. I'm really, really good to see the abundance, the ability to take charge and take control of things in your career, the great connections around you, the fantastic opportunities that are coming in really soon, and really the way you're going to be feeling. Because even I'm describing, you being a little bit like, I'm scared to open up here. It's like, this is actually your mind. This is actually how you're feeling. These are fantastic cards. This is like you're feeling in your ultimate space of freedom, happiness, and true fun with the right person, and knowing, and you'll be very clear, this is my soulmate. I'm with my soulmate, and if not already, it's coming in. And if it is already, it's like you've been with your soulmate probably all along, but you've just had to heal the past hurts and open up again, because it is a constant sort of closing off and opening up in relationships as they go through these transitions. As relationships go through different levels of, of love to dislike, and annoyance to love again, So everything works within cycles, and you're coming into this new cycle. You're at the end of an old cycle. You're right at the end of it. You're about to reap the rewards for where you've been putting your energies for the last 10 years, and maybe 20 for some. And yeah, it's going to work out absolutely fantastic as long as you allow and let others in and enjoy without fear. And good to see you leaving your fear in the past. So I hope you enjoyed that and have a great day. Bye.